Greetings. Hola. Mahaba. Mahaba. How is everyone today on this fun Friday? Fantastic Friday? Fabulous Friday? Well, I hope it's a good Friday for everyone. Um, as to all the caffeinated individuals today and every day moving forward. And if you're a non caffeinated individual, as long as you move forward, that's all that matters. So what's the latest gossip in the news today with the Donald? I have not, I didn't even put the news on. I have to digest all of this information because there's so much going on, and well, it's a whole lot, and it's a whole lot of, well, it's a whole lot of nonsense, and it's not anything that is really productive. The only productive capabilities that what I see now is billionaires making a poop load of money. You know, that's what I see. But another breaking news, we all know that now, don't we? Right? But right here where I am, our weather right now, we have some clouds and everything, and there's some type of there was something going on. I get the weather alerts every single day, and I look at the weather conditions. So there was something happening out in the Atlantic, and it's cloudy here. So, but it feels like a nice fall day. Time is moving. Time is moving quick, and well, now kids are back in school. We just had another senseless poo pooing, and hearing prayers doesn't do anything. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. No, you could do it. Your thoughts and prayers. You could stick them where the sun doesn't shine. The thought and the prayer is that y'all stop taking handouts from the NRA, and you make some comprehensive stinking laws that will prevent further acts of aggressiveness involving poo-poos where people become unalived. I mean, children. When does it end? When does it end? You know, well, let's keep on taking money. Cha-ching! Let's get the NRA. Let's not have comprehensive gun laws because without that NRA money, we won't be able to survive, and we won't be able to have all of our wealth and all of our stocks and our assets and our properties and this, that, and the other because you're all useless sacks of poo-poo. That's what you really all are. Because, um, listen, Sandy Hook, Bupkis. What happened? Bupkis. Uh, Other incidents in so many different regions. I mean, there's so many. There's so many that happen over and over. Uvalde. I was in Cancun when that occurred. I mean, it's just like thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Like I said, take your thoughts and prayers and stick them where the sun doesn't freaking shine. Get your sorry sacks of crap head together, all of you who are for these bogus laws with all these damn loopholes. Have a comprehensive law. Have a comprehensive law. You know, the way y'all tax people when we got to go wipe our rear ends for freaking toilet paper, start to do some due diligence when it comes to weapons that civilians have no business owning, okay? You're all ridiculous. You really are. You're just so useless. Politics to me is a sewer. Politics to me is a big septic tank. You know why? Because you're all full of shit. When you have funds and you have the means to delineate laws and to implement programs and policy to be helpful, that's what you're supposed to do. But instead, politics has now become an arena of what I refer to as, it's an arena of a celebrity, it's an arena of power, and it's an arena of bullshit, you know, because people seem to only do what benefits for them, you know. So how about this in politics? How about there be a basic preliminary requirement that there is no money given to politicians from corporations, all right? Let the corporations be the ones that provide services for people, not where the corporations own the politicians, all right? Because AIPAC owns every single one of these clowns that co-sign this continuation of genocide, okay? All of your souls have been evacuated. Your souls are no longer in your body. You are just existing here in the flesh, okay? Your skeletal, all you have is your skeletal remains that are here absorbing the oxygen. Because when you cannot be beneficial for humanity on a whole, you're a useless sack of shit. Okay? That's exactly how I feel. Exactly how I feel. And these media outlets, you're all bought and paid for. You're all bought and paid for. Not one of you pieces of poop have thoroughly exposed what's been going on. You know why? Because Daddy AIPAC is telling you, oh, no, 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 children. You must color within those lines. And those lines that need to be colored within do not show our barbarism. That rhymes. Look at that. That rhymes. I rhyme all the time. It's not intentional. It's just my grind. Oh, boom. That's what happens when you don't talk until you're about 3 years old and you take in all this information. They said, I stood at the playpen, I was like this. Where am I? Why am I not in that white wealthy family up in Connecticut? I wanted to go to Greenwich. But I went to Harlem. That's right, Harlem. That's where I come from. But anyway, everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Besides all this madness that we're currently exposed to, we're in a psychotropic situation right now, everybody. You know, we're all in the yellow submarine. Dun, 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 dun. It's crazy. I gotta put the air on because now it's a little stuffy. Oh, and the Mrs. Kravitz update. I'm not gonna say, but they're Splitsville. They're Splitsville. Mrs. Kravitz, from what I heard, Mrs. Kravitz, I think there was like a realtor there. I saw somebody with a clipboard, Mrs. Kravitz. But Mrs. Kravitz has to turn on the air conditioner. Hold on. It's no joke though, DB is no joke. Oh, there's air, there's circulation, yay. Look at what I got here. See this? See what that says? Yeah. I'm gonna cut this and stitch it onto this sweatshirt, this hoodie that I picked up in Connecticut. Yeah. And it's got this for the po-po, but I'm just gonna put red on it for, you know, what red represents. Because when we live in a militarized society, you know, people express themselves. But anyway, this is so cute. This is so adorable. It says, keep your attitude. I have my own. Also, this is from a Goodwill. Yeah, because I have money. I'm not a wealthy person, but I mean, I could buy whatever I want new. But I'm not spending my money to give any of these businesses my money. Nope. I'll help and contribute to people who are in need before buying myself something, because I want to look like I got to impress people, because I don't really give a poop about what people. To me, that's so shallow. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go outside with myself unkept, and all that, but that's society. People. It's amazing how people. Let's put it this way: someone could own like a city, and they could present themselves to look like they have holes in their shoes. You understand? So that whole thing of the let's put it this way, the whole thing of the impression and being all like glammed up, a lot of that's fakery. But you gotta look good, you gotta look good, you gotta feel good. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're doing that and that's the only thing you're about, and you don't think about other people, well, then you got shit for brains, and it's all about you. And this is a society that we live in, and this is the politics that we have. The politicians, it's all about them. It's all about them. And you're gonna notice how you're gonna see how all these people, their health is gonna start to slowly dissipate. When you're evil and you're in charge of doing evil things, the powers that be, they're watching you. You get watched. It's on a spiritual level. It's on a spiritual level. But anyway, everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back with my updates as I make progress here, and I philosophize about life and politics. I have dirty eyeglasses that I gotta clean. Yeah. Oh, so now the talking points are because of this incident that occurred in Minneapolis. They're saying that because of this, the individual, his preference, his gender identity preference, that was the reason. Yep, yep. Because we've all seen how many of the speaking cryptic, the Craig queens. We've all seen how aggressive Craig queens have been, right? Haven't we seen all of them just be so aggressive? Yeah, yeah. Ideology and sicknesses and access to machinery that should only be used by military. How many times do we have this scenario that occurs? But they don't care. They don't care. They don't care whatsoever. And for Texas, and for all the Texans out there, what they're doing to Texas people, Texas has the highest population of Black American voters, and so now this is why we have Mr. Abbott. We have him and the Republicans doing that law. How many more votes are you going to need, Donald? Will you need 11,000 or will you need 11 million? You're going to pick up 5 extra seats now, So, you should be proud of yourself, Donald. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. You've been accomplishing quite a bit of shade shit, You're the shade president. You're Mr. Shade. I know you like the sun. We could see that. Do you know we used to go camping I talked about that. And my husband was white. And one place up here, not in my county, um, up in the Adirondacks, well, exiting that very nice campground. Well, what was there? There was a very large Confederate flag, you know. Rah rah! White power, man. It's pretty well, it's a shame that you all feel so terrified by us. It really is. See, I'll be an interloper. I'm an interloper. I'm an inbred. Or wait, what did my father-in-law call me? Um, MON blank REL. Yeah, he said I was at MON blank REL. Yeah. Of the stories. The stories of the. Oh God! But me being me, with my attitude since way back, is a very simple GFY, and I'll show you how to GFY. Just like that. No problem. But in a much more aggressive vernacular. Yeah, people are crazy. You learn that. I learned it young. You know. I talked about going to Tibbetts Brook and going to Saxon Woods. And in Saxon, Tibbetts Brook being pointed at like, she's so dark. But they couldn't understand it because I didn't have, my hair wasn't curly, it was just wavy. They were like, what is she? She's an MON blank. These are all true stories. These are all true stories too. Oh my God. The torment. I also tell the story of when I was a little girl in Yonkers. A little classmate in kindergarten invited me to her house for lunch, and when I arrived, shortly thereafter, my mother arrived, and then my mother told me later on that the lady said to her she didn't want no ends in her house. And then I said to my mother, well, what happened? My mother said, well, we left to not have a scene. Oh my God, the trauma. You know what I tell people? You have to be like a duck. You know, a duck's ass, it curls and the water goes right up. And then you could sarcastically tell people off in a nice way with a dialogue that they have no comprehension upon. And then they're like, what? Anyway, the comedian is going to sign off. I'll be back with more stories and more progress. Yes, I'm making a lot of progress. I had some guy that had been working for me, and I wanted to make some changes, and he told me, no, you can't do that. No, I can't do it. It'd be too much work. The word can't is never in my vocabulary. And I said, oh, really, you can't do that, huh? Well, I guess I can't hire you then. Huh. And that's how we left off. Have a good one, everybody. I'll be back. Bye. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, and do the right thing by people at all times. And Donald Trump, I hope your diet improves. And don't forget your water.